HeroQuest hot takes. What's yours? I asked viewers what their HeroQuest hot take was for easy content. I mean, to get a glimpse into the minds of the Zargons and heroes everywhere. The responses were overwhelming. There were like 7 of them. I think they kind of get better as they go back in time, so we're gonna start with the newest one from Count Orlok here. There is no Morcar, only Zargon, right out of the gate with spicy. Is that a hot take? It's kind of declarative, where there hasn't been a declaration like that officially yet, but there doesn't need to be one because it's kind of factually correct. It's already true. There is no Morcar. There is only Zargon. That's true in the Avalon Hill sense. There's only the one. We have a Zargon in our modern HeroQuest world. We do not have a Morcar anywhere. Maybe that'll change with the upcoming Wizards of Morcar / Zargon. I say upcoming like it's going to happen, but I mean, that's just how firm my conviction is. There's been no announcement. I just have firm faith in the upcoming expansion known as Wizards of Zargon or Wizards of Morcar, depending. I've speculated on this expansion like many others, and this is not a Wizards of Morcar speculation video, that they'll change the name to Wizards of Zargon, but I'm going to go back and make my official prediction that it will be called Wizards of Morcar without a name change. I think we're going to see a recontextualization of the Morcar character from Zargon, apart from Zargon. That's what I think is going to happen. But anyways, we're going to move on. There is no Morcar, only Zargon. How do you feel about that, people from across the pond? Don't take this seriously. This was a question asked in jest, and it was responded to in kind, I'd like to say. Although some of these are pretty spicy. Let's continue. Ersaus H1850 says, my hot take, make available all female heroes for everyone. That's already happened. We literally have a female counterpart for pretty much every hero except for the Bard. We don't have a male counterpart for the Warlock. That's it, right? That's literally everybody. But I think the intent of this was really to say, let's reintroduce the 4 sculpts from the Mythic tier, the female variants, and the male elf back out into the retail world where they're accessible instead of hindered by people who want to have them locked behind the collector door, locked behind the eBay door. I think I understand the intent of the comment. Just correct me if I'm wrong, but otherwise, we have female variants of everybody now, pretty much. And now they come bog standard. There is going to be both male and female heroes in your expansion, whenever that expansion has heroes that it comes with. Jeff Whitty Art coming in hot with selling AI-made HeroQuest third-party products is both dishonest to the consumer community and diluting quality third-party products, and I 100% publicly, officially, wholeheartedly agree with this. I think that if you are, in fact, I agreed with it rather publicly here. And just to give a little bit more light on this comment, I've got some resources together to promote, and we'll be making another video to try and move folks away from AI slop. If you are one of those creators, and I mean, thank you for your kind viewership, but if you are a creator making HeroQuest products and you are using AI to facilitate the art side, know that there are much, much better solutions than taking a very questionable practice and using generated slop. It actually lowers the quality of the thing that you're making. That is a very topical opinion, I realize, but I don't care. It's pretty prevalent on the channel in many, many other places at this point. So if you don't know that about me, know that, yeah, most all AI usage is complete slop, and even the AI prompts that are done really, really well, it still blemishes your brand with insincerity, with I don't care about the possible ethics of it. And that doesn't make me want to support you. There are creators that use AI, and I will not spend any money on what they make. I can't bring myself to do it. And I don't accept free products to help showcase stuff on the channel anymore if the creator uses AI in their work. I highly discourage it. You do you. You don't need me to be a success. Absolutely not. But at least the official company is not using AI. Well, we really had to be vocal for them to not do that, but they listened, and now they are not doing that. And they'll continue to not do that, right? Let's move on. Hot take, I've played Atari 2600 games that have had more characters than this, the core set, so the 4 characters. You know what? I see both sides of this one, all right? If we're talking about contemporary HeroQuest, I'm glad Avalon Hill stuck true to the vision. I'm glad they made as much of a one-to-one as they possibly could, not having license to the Citadel sculpts or the Warhammer themes or any of that. Warhammer theme of chaos and the Famir creature and all that. Not that Games Workshop would have re-released the Famir. I do not think that they would have in any way re-released the Famir if they had had control of this IP and if they were going to do the re-release in 2021. I don't think we would have seen Famir. I did respond to this, asking what 2,600 games that you've played that do have more characters. And it's not like to argue a point. I genuinely want to know, because I would like to play Atari 2600 games that have more than 4 characters. I think that sounds like I'm in for a good time. Okay, but if we dial this back 30 years and we look at the core set that came out back in the Milton Bradley Games Workshop days, yeah, only 4 heroes. Why? Why only 4 heroes? A lot of the games at that time were doing like 4 heroes. Some folks will say, well, yeah, a lot of the games at that time were doing 4 heroes because HeroQuest did it and they were ripping HeroQuest off, but not all of the dungeon crawlers came after HeroQuest. Notably, Dungeon Quest came before. Dungeon Quest was using a 4-hero system as well, and each hero had their own stats, their own unique things that attributed different playstyles. Not that playstyle matters in Dungeon Quest, a game where you can literally step out into the first room, draw a card, and die. I have proof of that happening. It's right here on the channel. Literally one of the last Dungeon Quest videos I uploaded. What's your playstyle gonna be? Die with dignity or scream like a little girl as the rocks crush your body? Different playstyles there for sure. It's game over either way, but is it game over in a brutal way or game over in a fun and flirty way? You decide. This one really goes kind of deeper into the whole, there's no character development other than spending massive amounts of gold to gear up. And even then, there's an endpoint, a sort of current hard cap where you can't gear up any better. You can gear up a little differently to accommodate a slightly different playstyle, but it's nothing very substantial. So this is very valid. The spirit of this comment, extremely valid. All of these are valid, but this one I absolutely get. I'm not complaining about the characters that are there, and I think if you were going to introduce more characters, basically more growth, then it would change the core dynamics of the game itself. It would be slightly different than what we know to be HeroQuest. But moving on. HeroQuest needs to be brought back into the Warhammer world. This one, I told you they were only going to get spicier as we go back further and further. I'm of the camp that it was never in the Warhammer world, and I know that there are going to be people that start typing away, telling me about the evidence, the image of the map on the back. I know about all that, guys. I already did my research. I am firmly in the it's not a Warhammer product camp, and that's factually true now that it's completely divorced from it because it can't use that IP. It's got nothing to do with Games Workshop whatsoever, but I'm of the belief that the old game did not either. Some folks are like, why is this even contentious? Like, it factually is, it objectively is, it literally is. But, you know, there's still going to be folks like me that are like, it's not though. I welcome your stances in the comments below. I'm not going to argue the point because I've made up my mind, but I welcome the perspectives anyway. Let me know why it is. However, do I agree with the spirit of this? I absolutely 100% have said in a previous video, in a recent video, I don't remember which one, that the only company that could have handled the re-release of HeroQuest better would have been Games Workshop, and only because it would have been the exact same, but it would have used the Citadel style sculpts. It would have used probably either exact sculpts of the old HeroQuest miniatures, or it would have used contemporary sculpts. And I'm sorry, but unfolding the HeroQuest board and placing down sculpts of orcs from Warhammer the Old World as they are made today, and Tomb Kings from the Old World, and the Chaos Warriors, that would have looked so awesome. You could still do that, absolutely, 100%. You could drop the, hold on, let me just get my calculator out here, $643.89 pounds. To make that happen on your own, you could absolutely replace all of the sculpts with Games Workshop contemporary sculpts, and you'd get that high level of detail and that oozing, dripping with old world flavor that I really like about the old world stuff that's being released today from Games Workshop. And it would probably feel fantastic. I 100% agree with that. Now, I know I'm saying this, like 10 seconds after saying that I don't think HeroQuest is part of the Warhammer world, but the aesthetic is 100% there. Their Games Workshop, their Citadel sculpts, I mean, style is there, 100%. I'm not sure if given the choice, a magic lamp, which one of those things I would pick, but to me, it would have been really cool to see. Now, don't get me wrong, Avalon Hill's HeroQuest absolutely has its own aesthetic. It's got its own identity because of that, or partly because of that. And I think that that's a wonderful thing. It's a great way to revitalize the franchise. It's got new life, and it's not, Games Workshop, so they can afford to be a lot cheaper about it. Yeah, the Games Workshop HeroQuest 2021 would not have been the same price tag as the Avalon Hill HeroQuest. You can convince me of a lot of things, but you would not be able to convince me that it would have been as cheap. And you know that that's true. We're going to get spicier, we're going to get even hotter, and that's with Liminal Sub, who says, my hot take is that the first light cave board gives more of a dungeon crawl feel than the original board, with its winding passages and blind turns. I will stop short of saying it's a better board, though, because it is a bit more cramped. It is more cramped. Every space on there is more cramped, except for the large arena-style room at the end. The passageways are very, hey, we're just going to go corridor, single file, again, more still. And then the rooms. You've got rooms on there that are, oh God, I have one thing. You have rooms on there that are literally some of the smallest rooms in the history of HeroQuest. Super cramped. And the con that I can add on to there is that, honestly, it takes a lot of the fallen rock or otherwise blocked passage tiles to really make a quest wind and turn the way that you want it to. It takes a lot of them, and laying those down, I feel the fewer of those that you need for your quest, the better designed your quest is. And I'm not saying open up the entire board every single quest, but your quests should begin and end in very logical places that don't require you to have to place down a ton of blocks to block off the passages. The board already facilitates great quest building. The underside of the board, the cave board, does not facilitate as good of a quest building, in my opinion, because you do need more of those to really grindstone your your heroes into specific routes. And if you leave it open, well, I mean, anybody can do that, and it's not really going to give your people a feeling that the quest has its own identity apart from other quests that would be open, It gets a little bit into my pretentious game design theories, but I won't go there now. Now, as far as crawling a dungeon, getting more of that dungeon crawl feel, I don't know. The cave aesthetic really is so prevalent, and it just feels more like a cave than a dungeon. And I guess dungeon can be synonymous with just quest, and that's fine. I don't know that I disagree, but I feel funny about agreeing with it, and I'll have to take some time to think about why I feel that way. Let us move on to the last comment. Nate Vaughn, 2307, my HeroQuest hot take is, yesterday when we played HeroQuest, it was 97 degrees Fahrenheit out, but the heat index, it was 110. That's the hottest take of them all, and I know, because when this comment was posted, I had the exact same heat index outside, and it was hellish. I would rather cede to any HeroQuest opinion. You can tell me the Warlock isn't cute as a button, and I will agree if I don't have to play HeroQuest in 97 degree weather with a real feel of 110. Okay, so this obviously he wasn't playing outside. Maybe. What's the temperature at which your miniatures would melt? I wonder. Melt. They would certainly not be healthy out in 110, not with that heat index, not with that level of moisture in the air, humidity, Ash, that's the word. Oh, it was a rough week. It's still quite warm, but that was a rough one. Why am I driving this home? That's the hottest take, and the pun is that it was hot outside, and that's why it's the hottest take. That's the joke. I support hot takes. I think criticism is valid, and I would like to hear yours. If you missed this post, if you're more of just like a general video watcher, leave your hot take comment down below, and I will see you in the next exciting adventure. Was this adventure exciting? It was exciting for me. I was excited when I posted that question. I'm like, what are people going to say? What kind of trouble can we stir up? Bye for now, brave heroes. Farewell.